Protecting the Lower Back, Lumbar Spine and Sacrum Care by Sonnet Brown.
Today's agenda, I will be sharing about my mother's tragic car accident that left her nearly immobile, as well as the anatomy of the lumbar spine and sacrum. I will also share some common injuries that occur in this area, as well as how to protect your lower back and heal it through baby steps. My mother was in a car accident in 2009. My mother and her husband were driving towards an exit where there was a backup of cars. They slammed on their brakes, causing the man behind them to rear-end them. The accident caused trauma to the L5-S1 vertebrae. The discs herniated and part of the L5 facet joint broke off. Ow. Over the past 12 years, she hasn't been able to afford medical treatment, so those discs disintegrated and caused spinal stenosis, as well as disc degenerative disease throughout her entire spine. She also developed lordosis due to the L5-S1 vertebrae slipping anteriorly, also known as spondylolisthesis. She is in so much pain daily, dealing with sciatica down both legs due to impinged nerves. I don't know how she manages to even walk. My heart goes out to her. I love you, Mom. The anatomy of the lower back. There are 5 thick and robust vertebrae that make up the lumbar region of the spine, also known as L1 through 5. Not sure why L1 is missing. And then right below that is the sacrum, so this is the 5 fused vertebrae on the back of the pelvis. The sacroiliac joints help articulate the pelvis and the spine. It has limited movement. On each vertebrae there are facet joints that help with stability and allow your spine to flex during movement. There are holes inside each of the vertebrae called the vertebral foramen that make up the spinal canal. Inside the spinal canal contains the spinal cord, known in Latin as the cauda equina, horse's tail, because it looks like a horse tail. The spinal cord is the main part of your nervous system, controlling movement and everything else going on in your body. And then between each vertebrae are these intervertebral discs that are very squishy and act as shock absorbers for the spine. Common injuries and pain. The lumbar spine and the sacrum are hotspots for most back injuries, L5-S1. This is because they hold up the weight of the body. Sometimes the pain can travel downstream towards the sacroiliac joint. Statistics show that 25% of most back pain originates in the SI joint. Over time, the intervertebral discs of the spine will start to degenerate due to wear and tear. This is called osteoarthritis and happens to everyone, unfortunately, some more than others. I'd say 25% of the general population under 40 and 60% or more over the age of 40. Trauma can cause the disc to herniate and cause the spine to degenerate even faster. Once the spine is unstable, there's a domino effect that makes the next disc start to degenerate. It's all about balance. If you think about a car engine, the tiniest thing out of whack can cause it to not work anymore. Spondylolisthesis, also shown over here, is where a vertebra can slip out of place towards the front, and in this case it is towards the front, or the back of the spine due to trauma or wear and tear. 90% of all slip vertebrae occur at L5-S1. Lordosis, which is an exaggerated lumbar curve, can be caused by the slipped vertebrae, as you can see here. It also can be caused by too much pressure on the lumbar vertebra due to disc degeneration and a weakened spine. Spinal stenosis is where the spinal canal narrows due to calcification of the ligaments, or in my mother's case, from her herniated disc putting too much pressure on the spinal cord. See here on the far left is an example of spinal stenosis, where that impinged nerve is being pressed by the bulge of the herniated disc. Spinal stenosis left untreated can cause permanent issues like numbness, weakness, balance problems, and even paralysis. My mother has radiating pain that turns into numbness. As she says, it's worse than when your legs fall asleep. This pain is also known as sciatica/radiculopathy. Protect your lower back. Something that I've learned as I've gotten older is to take care of your body. Be mindful of how you're moving so you don't hurt these sensitive areas. That includes the spine. When doing any sort of movement, it is best to use the first joint rule as a rule of thumb, which tells us whichever joint moves first, it will take the most load. Since the lumbar spine is the hinge of the body, it takes the most weight the most often. Movement is a huge part of keeping your spine healthy. A sedentary lifestyle can cause a lot of problems, including disc degeneration. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Due to the excruciating pain she deals with daily, my mother has lived a sedentary lifestyle, which made things a lot worse for her. If you are experiencing lower back pain, I definitely recommend working with a healthcare professional to see what types of movement would rehabilitate you. Symmetrical movements will protect the spine by building strength in your back muscles and core. Spinal traction is a great way to decompress your back using inversion tables, a yoga trapeze, or even inversion poses in yoga, such as the standing forward fold I will be showing you. Hydration is one of the most important things you can do to take care of your body as well as your back. An old wives' tale explains that you're supposed to drink 8-ounce glasses of water per day, but that's one size fits all view doesn't really work so well. According to WebMD, you should drink between half an ounce and an ounce of water for each pound you weigh every day. For example, if you weigh 150 pounds, that would be 75 to 150 ounces of water per day. That way your body can stay properly hydrated. The spine is in constant compression as you move, which squeezes out the water in your discs. If you want to slow the rate of which your spine degenerates, chug some water. I recommend carrying around a water bottle wherever you go. Painkillers are definitely not recommended, but I know they are there to ease the pain. They only block the pain receptors but don't actually fix the underlying problem. Tread lightly when it comes to over-the-counter medication, especially before exercise. You could hurt yourself without even knowing it because your body can't cry out for help. I recommend using a more natural solution I use every single day to help with pain and inflammation called turmeric, which is an orange root found in the ginger family. You can find it almost anywhere, at least where I'm located in the US. Good posture is important to reduce wear and tear and unequal weight distribution. Keep your back straight and avoid dumping into your lumbar spine by tucking in your tailbone. Baby steps towards healing. The standing forward fold is a fairly simple yoga move, also known as Uttanasana in Sanskrit. This pose helps to relieve pressure equally and stretch the lumbar region. This move has little risk due to its symmetry across the entire body. It is an inversion which helps improve circulation since your head is below your heart. This pose also helps with spinal traction, decompressing the spine using the natural force of gravity.
I will be demonstrating standing forward fold Uttanasana with my partner Daniel. To begin, step to the front of your mat. Place your feet together. In this case, for the first joint roll that I was talking about earlier, you'll be lengthening your spine, retracting your shoulder blades behind you, opening your chest. That would be the thoracic spine, the upper back. So inhale, open your chest, arms up. Exhale, fold forward and place your hands on the floor. If this is not accessible for you, you can always just bend your knees a little deeper. A modification for this, just in case your erector spinae, which is the muscles in the back here, your gluteus maximus, the buttocks region, as well as hamstrings and calf muscles, sometimes they can be a little too tight, and your stretch reflex of the muscle spindles of your body, which is the proprioceptors inside your muscles that warn you that your stretch is a little bit too much, you can make a modification. Go ahead and come back up. Trusty chair. So for the modification, place your feet together. Inhale, retract your shoulder blades, open your chest, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, but this time keep your body at a 90-degree angle. So open your chest so that your spine is not curved. Basically push your chest forward. Yeah, there you go, that's better. Perfect. So this will help relieve the pressure on your lower back, because when you are coming back out of it, there's a lot of pressure right down here. It's really good for strengthening and flexibility. Eventually, you might be able to do the move without the chair at all. So inhale, come back up to stand.
Bridge pose, also known as Setu can help improve flexibility and strength in the spine as well as your core. It will also help relieve stress in your back and will stretch out your lower abdominal muscles and hips.
To begin, lie comfortably on the mat. Place your heels close to your bum and C-grip your ankles, Lego hands. Retract your shoulders underneath you. So this case, for the first joint roll, you're opening your chest, the thoracic spine. Inhale, lift your hips up as high as you can. Perfect. And make sure that your spine is straight line from the neck all the way up to your knees. Release your C-grip and interlace your hands behind your back if that's comfortable for you. So this move activates the erector spinae, the muscles of the back, as well as the rectus abdominis, which is the abdominal muscles in your stomach, the hamstring and calf muscles. So if this is a little too much because let's say your muscle spindles are screaming at you, the stretch reflex, then you can place this block under your sacrum. Here you go. Release. And you can put all of the pressure on the block instead of through your lower back. This helps strengthen your spine so that you can do it without the block eventually, but it's very good to help strengthen your core. Release the block and lower back down.
To recap, I taught you a bit about the anatomy of the lower back region, as well as how important it is to protect your back through the first joint rule. Some things to keep in mind on your journey is to stay mindful and to just keep moving using simple practices I showed you or even your own. But the most important thing is to seek medical help if you are hurting in the lumbar region. Don't let it go to the point of no return like my mom. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the mat.